Hey everyone, it's Silva, and today I am going to be talking about solo hiking. I'm going to be focusing today on day hiking and how I started solo day hiking back in February of 2018. And later on I'll do another video of how I transitioned from doing solo day hikes into solo backpacking trips. But I thought I would share this experience and how I started, because I've had quite a few people ask me, how do I dare to go backpacking or hiking by myself? Sometimes it's, especially women will be like, how do you go by yourself and what did you do to get prepared? And I've even had guys ask me the same question. They don't like hiking or going overnights by themselves. So I thought I would share my experience, how I started and why I love it so much. My very first solo hiking trip was Black Cat Mountain in Poland, Maine. It is a 3-mile hike, pretty easy really, but it was February in Maine, so there was snow, and I was also using hiking poles for the very first time on this trip, so it was a little bit getting used to. And the hike itself is really pretty easy. I'll insert a few pictures from that trip here so you can see what the terrain was like. And there wasn't a lot of views, a little bit of views, but really it was about the experience of going by myself for the first time. So I thought Poland's not far from where I live, and 3 miles isn't too far. So what I did to get prepared for this, because this was before I had my Garmin in reach, and all I had was my cell phone. And so what I would do is I would take screenshots of all trails, the trail I'd be taking, and I would send the screenshots to my husband so he'd know where I was going, so that he would have an idea of time-wise how long it should take me to get to the trailhead. And then when I got to the trailhead, if I did have cell service, I'd send him another message just quick that said at the trailhead. If I didn't have cell service, obviously I couldn't send the message, and then I would start my hike up the mountain. Sometimes, even though I didn't have cell service in the parking lot or at the trailhead, I would have cell service partway up the mountain or when I got to the summit, and then I'd send him another message or a picture of the top, just showing, hey, I'm at the summit, or here's some pictures if I had cell service somewhere along the way. I didn't always, but it was just a way, if I did, so that he would know timing wise, not to worry, this is where I was at. When I get back to the car, if there was, like I said, if there was cell service, I'd send him another message that said back at the car, heading home, and then I'd start the trip home. This way I had the messages out to my husband so he would know. And it doesn't have to be a spouse, it could be a sibling, it could be your parent, a child, just someone that knows where you're headed, approximately when you were leaving, and to give them an approximate time on when you should be home. So if something did happen, there'd be a timeline somewhere so they'd know when you should have been home. And if it's a little late, then not to worry too much. But if it got extremely late, then there will be someone that knows, hey, this person should have been home, maybe we need to alert the authorities. But that way I felt better knowing someone knew what I was doing, and my husband felt better knowing he knew a little bit about where I should be and at what time. Then eventually I did get my Garmin, and so I can send messages now, regardless of if I have cell service or not. But that was my very first hike, and of course, being the first hike, here and there I'd hear little noises and turn and look and be like, what was that? But it went well, and I was so proud of myself for doing it all by myself. And so after that hike, I did a few more easy local things, Rang Pond, and then let's see, so I did Rang Pond, I did some other little Hedgehog Mountain in Freeport, and then eventually I started making them a little tougher terrain and a little bit longer. In April of 2018, I did Douglas Mountain, which is the first time I did a mountain. It was a pretty easy mountain, but it had a fire tower, and so that was really fun to be up there all by myself. In May, I did Maiden's Cliff Trail in Camden, and I'll insert a few pictures or links to those videos if I have videos. I don't have videos for all of them because I didn't start filming until after that. And then I did Puzzle Mountain in Grafton Notch, which was quite a bit tougher and longer. I think that one was like 6.5 miles. Each time out there I was building confidence in myself, and I was feeling more energized each time, and like I was just so strong and capable. It was very exciting. And then I started going out to do some in the rain. I did Sabatis Mountain in the rain. It wasn't a very long one. But I did have a hard time finding the trailhead, and so I had to worry about that with no cell service. Wasn't a real concern, but it was something I had to figure out on my own. And then I did hike it in the rain, and so it was just getting used to different types of terrain and different situations while I was solo. And then eventually, in September, I decided I really needed to up my game, and I was ready for something very challenging, and I will definitely link this in the corner. I did Franconia Ridge all by myself in New Hampshire, the White Mountains, and it was the highest mountain I had hiked. There's 3 mountains there that I went over the loop: Little Haystack, Mount Lincoln, and Mount Lafayette, and I got to do the whole ridge walk. And there was the underclouds, and it was just an amazing time. I think it was around 9 miles for the day. It was just so amazing to know that I had relied on myself to do this journey, and that I was up there feeling strong and confident, and I knew at that point that I could do any hike on my own and I would be okay. I do still love hiking with Matt. We hike together almost every weekend, but if I have a day off, I am not afraid to go out there and hit a trail or a large mountain on my own now, because I have built up that courage and I have built up that joy, and I love both ways. I love hiking solo and just counting on myself and feeling confident and strong, and I love hiking with a partner and having the companionship too. So both are great, but I just want to encourage you all, if you're wondering if you can do it and you've really been wanting to do it but you're a little afraid, start small. Even if it's only a mile that you go out into the woods and then go back to the car, it's an accomplishment, just that 1 mile, and then gradually do 1.5 miles out and back, and then keep building, and start with an easy trail so you don't feel like something's gonna be too difficult, or that you'll be scared to do it on your own, and then just build up, and eventually you'll be able to do it all. I promise you, it is worth the effort. It is just so fulfilling and so amazing, and such a feeling of accomplishment when you did it on your own, and that you can kind of conquer any trail at that point. So again, I encourage you to get out there and do it. I will be doing another video later on how I transition from doing those day hikes to overnights on my own, and I'll try to include, like I said in the corners when I talked about different trails, if I have a video from those trails, I'll definitely include it in link it for you, and then I'll include some of the pictures along the way. And I really hope that this helped some of you. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Go ahead and put it in the comments below, because I really do want to encourage everyone to get out there, whether it be with a partner or be solo. And anything I can do to help you get out there and help you feel the joy I do when I'm on trail, I would just love to do it. So go ahead and put any comments or questions below, and I really hope to see you guys out there on trail. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. Thanks so much for following along on all of our adventures. And thanks for all of the subscribers that have been subscribed. If you haven't already subscribed, I really appreciate it if you did. Just trying to get the channel, to grow the channel and reach more people and encourage more people to get out there. So I really appreciate all the support. You guys are fantastic. If you have any ideas for other videos you'd like me to do, you can certainly put it in the comments below. And like I said, I'll be doing kind of a follow-up to this and how I started solo backpacking in a few weeks. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and as always, keep hiking.